And we're live. Hey guys, couple minutes early here. How you doing? Just wanted to get a chance to, say hi and let everybody, join me here for the live announcement. I'm like giddy. I'm so excited. It's kind of crazy to me that this has been 5 weeks in the making. 5 weeks? Actually, it's been a lot longer than that. I just didn't announce it until 5 weeks ago today, actually. So, before we dive in a little bit more, if you are here, go ahead and say hi. Let me know that you're here. I'm going to be glancing over at my laptop every once in a while because it's actually easier for me to read the comments and see who's checking in and see who's here. So I'm going to go ahead and check in here and see if anybody is here, and hopefully I can say hi to personally. So I know that there were several of you who were hoping to be able to make it today. And so once you do get here, go ahead and let me know in the comments below your name and where you're from. So what's really fun for me is that I've had just an amazing opportunity to get a chance to meet, and at least via social media, right? A lot of you who are around the world. So I know that I have a client who is from Germany who actually lives here in Colorado now with her husband. So hello to you guys. If you were here, I'm not going to mention you by name right now. That is just the way it is. But if you are here, it's perfectly fine to go ahead and say hi. There's also going to be some other people from around the world here today, which is pretty cool. So I do have friends in Canada. Hello, my Canadian friends. Hopefully you guys are doing well today. So I do apologize in advance. Hopefully we won't be shaking and moving around too much. I'm actually on the boat today working from Bayfield on the boat in our sailboat here in our summer home. And it's just, the wind just picked up, so it's going to be quite windy here today. So anyway, just wanted to give you a fair warning here, so in case it's a little bit shaky. It's what happens when you get a chance to work in some really cool remote places, right? So, alright, so it looks like we've got a couple people on here. I am just going to move this so I can actually see who is here. So there is a little bit of a delay, which is all great. So I'm just going to be like, hi everyone, welcome. So we are here, so go ahead and say hi if you are here. I'd love to see who is here in the comments and tell me where you're from. I'm actually currently in Bayfield, Wisconsin today. Hey Andrea, nice to have you guys here. So welcome. So this is one of my, yep, you're from Toronto, I know that. So it's one of my Canadian friends. So I love you. Welcome. Hey Satya, welcome. It's so nice to have you guys here. I'm super excited too. So my Canadian friends, welcome you guys here today. So fantastic. Hey, how's it going? So how's the weather up your way? Has it been pretty crazy and pretty windy? I know that there is Hurricane Florence. Is it Florence? I think it's Florence that is going to be just hitting the coast here in the next couple of days over in the Carolinas. So hopefully if you are in the Carolinas, stay safe. Funny about that, little side comment about that as well, is that my husband and I are just celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary a couple weeks ago, and we had a trip planned to Myrtle Beach. We were supposed to leave on Tuesday, so apparently that's not happening with the hurricane. So hopefully everything will go well there and stay safe. So fantastic. Hey guys, awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and dive in. We have a lot to cover today. 24, seriously, you guys are still summer up there if it's 24. I just love that. So awesome, Satya. Thanks for sharing that. I just love it. I love it. So feel free to dive in if anybody else hops in here at any time too. So, have you ever looked back at your career at how every seemingly unconnected part just suddenly made sense? That's actually me right now in this moment. My deep-seated why is to help others create a real, tangible impact by being determined to solve their number one business challenge. And that is through authentic marketing. That's seamless and creates more ease, reduces stress, increases fulfillment in their lives. One of the many wonderful pieces of advice that I've been gifted is that it's okay to say yes to the next step or direction if you know in your gut that it's right, right? Despite the fact that you may not have all the pieces figured out, right? So I know I'm known for being a big planner, and that was really hard for me to kind of step back and say, you mean it's okay for me not to have all the pieces planned out before I say yes to the next step? That to me was a huge revelation, and I'm so very grateful to a dear friend and mentor who actually pointed that out to me when I definitely needed it. So thank you to my friend. If you're out there, I know that you know who you are. So thank you for that very, very deeply. So that's actually how funnel marketing consulting got started. I decided to trust, which is not always easy, right? And to say yes, and to begin, and here we are. Here we are today. So today with that intention, I'm going to demonstrate 100% vulnerability and also transparency both in my business. And I also like to invite you on this journey with me as we work towards these 4 intentions for you and also for your business, including number 1, magnetically attracting your dream client. So done are the days of, having to follow that icky sales copy tactics, that icky feeling surrounding that, right? I know Andrea and Sotia, you guys are masters at this and totally get that too and teach this to your clients. You guys are rock stars with this. So, in fact, this is one of the concepts that I am taking a deliberate stand against. The blog post that came out of this is called The Refreshing It's About Time Marketing Trend. If you haven't checked it out, go ahead and hop onto my blog sometime and check it out. I highly recommend it. And I encourage you to do, this as well. It's just fascinating to me that this particular one blog post has gotten over 400 shares already. So is it resonating with people? Totally, right? Totally. And I couldn't be more excited. So there are not a lot of us around, but hopefully that's going to change. And I know that there's a lot of other people out there that believe in the concept of authentic marketing. So we're hoping to band together and stay together. So number 2, we're looking to create an evergreen traffic flow. So they build it and they will come mentality does not work anymore, and probably actually never did, with getting your work online. So doing social media posts, building a pretty website, even building a great funnel by themselves, none of them will do anything without a solid strategy and deliberate traffic strategy, right? Totally. So, total side note, I'm a huge fan of the 80-20 rule. Are you guys familiar with that? So I know it's been out there for a very, very long time. But basically it says, you know what? 80% of your business comes from 20% of the work. And there's so many different ways to be able to apply this rule. And that definitely applies in your business too. So I'm going to refer to this over and over again as we move on. So throughout my certification with ClickFunnels and 2 other advanced trainings earlier this year, it's pretty obvious that Facebook is the main marketing engine, and for good reason. So the targeting can become pretty specific, but there's also a bit of an art to figuring out where does your dream client hang out, right? So even if they're in corporate, for example, they can still mingle with friends and family during lunch, right? During breaks. There might be, they might actually be part of groups and their businesses online, things like that. So it's just a matter of figuring out exactly where they're going to be. And that's actually part of what our goals are for you guys. So I apologize. I am not a professional speaker, as I know that some of you are, and this is something that, being live is one of those things that I am fully committed to because I'm super excited to share my news with you. So I appreciate your patience with me here. Great. So we choose to do what's been a proven concept for others based on the training that I've gone through in the past. And we can also enhance a different strategy for your business once it's up and running, for example. Does that make sense? So right away, we're going to be looking at using Facebook as the main driving engine because it's 20% effective for the 80% results that we're looking at, right? So actually, did I just say that backwards? You guys are just laughing at me, right? Andrew, and so to you, you're just dying. I appreciate it. So thank you. But hopefully you understand what I'm talking about, right? Awesome. Thank you. Big love to you there. That is just fantastic. Okay, so number 3, offsetting ad spend with small sales. So there's a name for this concept, which is really, really fun, that I've done some training on not that long ago. Anybody happen to see it? I did have some training, so if you did go ahead and see that training, go ahead and let me know in the comments. It's interesting to see if that's there. So, do you remember what this number 1 concept to online marketing success is? If you do, go ahead and comment. It'd be fun to see it there. If not, all good. You can go ahead and check it out at a different time. So, at number 4, once the rest is going, so once the rest of your funnel system is going, generating pre-qualified leads for your high-ticket program, workshop, training, mastermind, or destination retreat for 0 net cost. Right. Let me say that again in case you didn't catch that, right? 0 net cost, right? Resulting in pure profit is truly a scalable business. And most importantly, and finally, a sustainable business model. Does that make sense? Right? So once you get to that point where you have put into effect the number 1 concept that I'm not going to mention right now, but I will mention after a little bit, you get to a point where everything that you earn from an investment standpoint, from clients saying yes to your products and services, from the standpoint of generating high-ticket leads, is pure profit. So that's the intention behind it. Great. All right. Sound good so far? Following along with me? Okay. Before we dive into a little bit more of the training, 2 things. Number 1, if you stay to the end, I have a free gift for you. So your choice of 2 different things. So when I ask who's still here, if you go ahead and type your name in the comments below, and that will count, I'll go ahead and send you a free gift. There's actually 2 different choices. Number 1 is a Tony Robbins book funnel. So I have the actual sales funnel that Tony Robbins has used to sell his latest book online. So if anybody's interested in that, I can get that to you for free, just for staying to the end. And there was a second prize. You know what? Apparently I needed to write it down because it's not with me. So if you're not interested in the Tony Robbins book funnel, go ahead and let me know. I do have some other options available for you as well too. So, and number 2, you may be wondering who the heck I am, right? So some of you know who I am. I know you. I love you. This is great. But some of you really don't know who I am. You may have seen some of my ads on Facebook. You may have seen, some of the blog posts that I have. And some of the other videos that I've created, but don't really know much about me. So, since that's the case, I'm assuming that that's the case, I'm going to go ahead and dive into a little bit of background, just some bullet points, nothing too extensive. I'm not going to go through my entire origin story video that's actually on my blog as well, but I just want to kind of give you a little bit of background on who I am and where I came from. So I've been involved over my lifetime in 9 different businesses. It's really hard to believe, but when I kind of sat down and went through them all, that's actually the extent of what it was, is 9 different businesses. So including a tech business, website business, and a digital marketing agency. So one of those businesses, one of the 9, was actually included in our bankruptcy. So I have gone through bankruptcy as well. So I've experienced and observed that the number 1 challenge for all business owners is marketing, right? Which is one of the reasons I'm so passionate and driven to figure this out, hence my own business here. So I was the former president of a BNI chapter. For those of you not familiar with BNI, it's called Business Networking International. It's a fantastic networking group where business members get together and actually pass referrals towards one another. So that was an incredible experience, and I had a ton of fun with that. So I geek out with numbers, you name it, birthdays, fun, quirky combinations, etc. It's kind of known in our family, which is fun. So my brain loves to see real numbers, right? Stats, measurable improvements, increased conversions, etc. So the combination of making authentic connections, building relationships, developing a working plan, and working towards improving numbers is really my truly dream business. In 2016, my health was rapidly deteriorating. I had frequent migraines along with stress and anxiety, and it wasn't pretty. Today I'm still managing my chronic fatigue, hypothyroidism, and I'm getting ready to go through testing to see if I have the autoimmune disease associated with hypothyroidism called Hashimoto's. The chances are pretty high that I do because I already have 4 immediate family members that have it as well. So it is what it is. But that is just one of the things that I personally am dealing with and going through. So I know everybody has their own things that they go through. And so if anybody is going through the same thing, maybe it makes you feel like you're not alone. So I definitely, I appreciate hearing other people's stories as well too. So if you do run into any of these, let me know. Let me know if you're comfortable sharing. Otherwise, behind the scenes, I'd love to hear from you too and just reach out and say hi. We're not alone, and we've got each other's back here, so it's all good. So let's say I've been married for about 25 years, I'd mentioned, which is just insane to me. I don't know where the time goes. My husband Robin and I just celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary a couple weeks ago. We have two daughters who are both married, and that always gets some fun reactions as well. I used to tease my husband, who needs boys when we have girls that play hockey? So yes, for all you hockey fans out there, both of my girls did play hockey, loved being a hockey mom. It was amazing. My oldest, Ashlyn, played hockey for 9 years. In 7 years, she was a goalie. Crazy fun. Stressful position, that's for sure, but crazy fun. And my youngest daughter, Victoria, played for 7 years, and she switched back and forth between being a forward wing and defense. So again, super fun to be in there, but anyway, those years are long gone, but it was super enjoyable for us as well. So what's interesting too is that we live on a sailboat. I had mentioned right at the very beginning of this particular video, and if you've seen my other videos, you'll see I have the same background. This is actually, the back part of the boat in the inside, which is a lot of fun. So this has been a 7-year dream that my husband and I have been planning, and we realized it last fall, I think it was, that we technically did that. So it was just super fun to be able to do that, and really a dream come true lifestyle for us. So that was one of the things that is really nice for us. And so we are near the Apostle Islands on Lake Superior, the biggest freshwater lake in the world. So if you look it up on a map, you can kind of see where we are. And if you follow me along on social media, sometimes I have posts on there that actually tag exactly where I'm at. So that is pretty fun. So in the winter time, that's actually the biggest question that we have from people is, so what happens in the winter? Where do you go in the winter, right? So Tia, you were a goalie for 7 years. Yes. Totally, equipment is expensive. Don't I know it? We could have done so much, we could have made a lot of different choices with our money at that time, but those years were priceless. So that is pretty awesome. Thanks for showing me that. That's pretty cool. And of course, I'm sure that you guys get teased all the time. Just because you're Canadian doesn't mean everybody loves hockey up there either, too. So, but it does happen to be a pretty big sport up there. So. Anyway, it's I always got a kick out of when I worked for the company in Winnipeg. I always got a kick out of when the Jets played the Wild. So that was just kind of a fun thing to do. So fantastic. So in the wintertime, the biggest question that we get from people is, so what happens? Are you on the boat? No, we're not on the boat. We take it out for the winter time. And for last winter and this winter, we actually will be renting an apartment, which is super fun. And the reasoning behind that is because we bought a lot in St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin, which is right on the border of Minnesota and Wisconsin. And that lot is a very heavily wooded lot. It's about a half a block from the state park on the Wisconsin side. And we are huge outdoor enthusiasts. So we got a chance to snowshoe last year and got a chance to snowshoe like pretty much we could once we build on this lot, right from the property. It's a half a block from there, which is amazing. So I love rock climbing. I love hiking, paddleboarding, which I do here. It's amazing. There's a little beach here, just right down the way here. Kayaking, downhill and cross country skiing, snowshoeing, bodyboarding, etc. But what's interesting is that when people hear that I do all these things, they think that I'm naturally athletic. I'm really, really not. For those of you who have known me for a while, Greg, welcome for coming. You know this firsthand. I am not an athlete. I do not consider myself an athlete. But I do enjoy these activities on my own terms, which is a lot of fun. So another quick fact about me is I'm a highly sensitive person. I spent a lot of time over the past couple, for sure 3 years, just learning more about myself, what my strengths are, kind of what makes me tick a little bit, and it's just been eye-opening for me. And one of those facts, which I didn't even know existed, I didn't even know it was a thing, was called being a highly sensitive person. So I won't go into a lot of details, but the best overall description of being a highly sensitive person is this. Overall, our nervous system absorbs all forms of sensories. So, right, sounds, sights, smells, just all the sensories. We absorb all these little details around us as if it was coming at us through, let's say, a garden hose. So, and for non-sensitives, they absorb all sorts of sensories as if it's coming through a straw, right? So whose brains do you think get tired faster, right? Totally, the highly sensitives. So it's not a problem. It's just something that has to be managed, just like anything else in life. So just one of those things. So two other bullet points about myself is I have the confidence to know that I can figure anything out, right? I've gone through 9 different businesses. I've gone through a number of different career changes. And there's one thing that I know, like, for certain, is the fact that there is nothing that I can't figure out. And I do have the confidence to know exactly how to find the answers, and I will get the answers for anybody who, who's looking for some and I can't provide them on the spot. So, all good. And so, I believe in trusting my gut. It's not something that I really knew about or paid attention to. I've always been a logical thinker, but this is something that is huge for me. So I really do believe this right now, that trusting your gut is the only way to go. It's the only way to know what's right for you, because what's right for you may not be right for somebody else, and that's okay, and vice versa. It's all good. We are our own individuals, and we are worthy to trust ourselves for decisions. So I believe that we are best working at our own natural rhythm and pace and on our own terms, right? So being the best me that I can be, and that we can achieve more collectively than we can alone. I believe that so very strongly. Just like Simon Sinek said, I believe that we are better together. And I really do truly believe that. And I also believe that creating a real, tangible impact matters. How you guys doing so far? Are you still with me? Awesome. Very, very cool. All right. How are we doing here? Okay, yeah, we're still good with people here. Fantastic. I appreciate you guys. Okay, so I'm going to transition a little bit so that hopefully that tells you a little bit more about myself and my background and kind of where I'm coming from. Right. Yeah, totally, Satya. Thank you. I love that totally. Okay, ready to dive back in? All right, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and say first, I'd like to offer you a sincere congratulations. Really, truly. Let me know if this sounds like someone you know, whether that is you or literally someone else that you know. Trying to be funny, but you kind of get that. So you already have a successful offline business. So maybe you're a coach, you're a consultant, a trainer, a speaker, an author, a writer, an expert in some sort of field, right? So you have an established, consistent income, right? You might be at six figures, you might be at multi six figures right now. You travel quite often for work, and the reason is because you love to work with clients one-on-one. And one-on-one could be individual executives, it could be in small teams, it could be in a group setting. For example, keynotes. It could be workshops, trainings, programs, events, masterminds, destination retreats, right? My new favorite. I know some of you are planning them, and this is something that is absolutely exploding right now in the online marketing industry. And why not? Like, how fun are destination retreats? So I am looking forward to hearing about where you guys have them planned and where you're kind of thinking about it. I know Bali is a great location that I have heard about in the past. In fact, some friends of mine just came back from there not that long ago, and it was quite interesting to hear about their experiences. So, total side note tangent, but just was thinking about that. It's part of the advantage when you're live. Very cool. All right. So, you love your work, and it energizes you. You have an overflowing number of testimonials, raving fans, right? From your clients because you get wonderful results for them. You are results oriented, just like I am. And however, now that you've arrived, right, you've worked your butt off to get to where you are right now. Now that you're kind of feeling like, at least from the outside, people think that you've arrived, so to speak, right? The thought of keeping up this pace for for the foreseeable future, right, totally causes you stress. You know, it's just incredible. Like, oh, this is so insane. I know what that's like, keeping up an incredible pace, which is a whole other story. I promise I won't go into that right now, but I've been there. I've suffered from burnout before, and with my health issues from my past career, it was really not pretty, and a lot of that was due to the fact that I was just, number one, in the wrong position, number two, working too hard. And so there has to be more sustainable business model out there, right? Well, there is. There is. Andrea says, that sounds right. Yes, totally. Totally. And so, in order to achieve deeply important personal, family, and business goals, it just causes anxiety and an instant energy drain to think that you have to keep up this pace forever, right? I know that's the way that I felt, and I know that that's why a lot of you feel as well. I've heard from you, right? Oh, Andrea says, yes, my friend calls his business growth PTSD. Oh, perfect. I'm totally using that, Andrea. Yeah, I think that sounds about right. That certainly sounds, I know I can relate to that for sure, and I'm certain that others can as well, too. So, does this sound familiar? I know you can relate. I'm certain that you can think of others, as this is coming up. Totally makes sense, right? Please let me know in the comments if you think about other people who this sounds like. And certainly if it's yourself, I definitely want to say, hey, that's me, right? Down there. Just to let you know that you're not alone, right? You're not the first person this has happened to, and you won't be the last. But that's one of the reasons that I was just wondering, is there a better way? There has to be a better way for a business model standpoint that is more sustainable for your health, for your relationships, and for the future of your business, and quite frankly, sanity, right? So let's imagine for a minute, what would life be like if you didn't find a solution for this? You have choices, right? You can choose to find a solution. You can choose not to. You can choose to say, yes to a solution that isn't right for you. You can continue to do research. There's a lot of choices that you have, which is great. And you can keep moving forward on this path. And if this was you, how would that make you feel? If you're comfortable, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. For example, if you continue on and things don't change, how would this affect your health? I know for me, it was insane. It was insane. This is the first time I've said this out loud in a live setting, but I was quite seriously, exactly, exhausted, Andrea, totally. I was actually concerned that had I not made some very deliberate changes and choices in my business, in my past career, I would have ended up in the hospital. It was not good. But it is what it is. We learn it now. But that's the reality. And hopefully you won't get to that point. And hopefully people that you know won't get to that point, because it's just not good. Take care of ourselves, right? With our relationships, if we continue moving forward, I don't know about you, but I can certainly relate to this. When I get into a project, into something, I can sometimes be busy for like a couple hours, and all of a sudden I come up for air and say, where did the time go? Right? That's fantastic for short spurts of inspired, focused work. But when that compounds, and you're really running on the treadmill, so to speak, you're going to have no choice but for that to not, that has to affect your relationships, right? Totally. Right, so whether it's a spouse, whether it's your kids, whether it's your close family, friends, whether it's your business colleagues, mentors, whoever it is, this is going to affect relationships. And it's just not good, right? How would it affect your energy level? I can tell you that my number one challenge right now is managing my energy level. At the time, if I wouldn't have continued, it would have been really, really bad. That's just the way it is. The good news is that there's ways to change that, and you can. It is sustainable. You can do it. We are capable of it. So how would that change the future of your business if you didn't make any changes? Would you have the creativity to see what's next? I know some of you very, very much are creative thinkers, and if you are not working on your creativity on a daily, if not weekly basis, you just feel like you're dead, right? I know, because I've talked to you. I love you too. But that's just the reality, is that some of you just thrive in creativity, and what can I do to really help my clients at a higher level, right? How can I serve them at a higher level? And for the future of your business, you might end up feeling, like, just tell me if this sounds familiar. Totally. All good. All good. That you might end up feeling that you don't have a choice but to continue on a path that is basically known versus innovate and creatively figure out what is next for you to help your clients at a higher level. Does that make sense? Is this resonating with you guys? All right, cool. Awesome. So, as an estimate, how much have you spent, for example, say in the past 3 years, in time, money, and energy on online courses, video series, online workshops, webinars, in-person events, trainings, destination retreats, etc.? $5, $10, $15, $20,000 more? Quite likely, and quite easily, right? I know, I can totally relate. I've definitely spent plenty on those myself. And it doesn't mean that I didn't get fantastic value out of them, right? So, but the point is, I'm just going to ask one question. So when you left participating from these things, how well were you able to implement what you learned, right? I have no doubt that there was a lot of value. You probably met some great people, some awesome people. But at the end of the day, if we can't implement what we learn, the value of that goes down tremendously. Would you guys agree? Right? It's about implementation. And you can't get results without implementing what you learn. Right? Totally. So, imagine if somehow, somewhere, you found a way to transition at least a portion of your online business and you were successfully generating leads for your favorite high-ticket program, workshop, training, mastermind, or destination retreat. How would that feel? Go ahead and let me know in the comments below if you're comfortable doing so. I appreciate it. So for your health, if you are already there, how much would that be worth to your health? Think about it. And actually write down a dollar amount. I don't know if you have a piece of paper though. I have some notes for myself here on a piece of paper. But put a dollar figure to that. I would encourage you to do that. You know, how much would that be worth to your health? To have things running smoothly and suddenly, right, you've got some breathing room coming in with these, you know, pre-qualified leads for your high-ticket lead generation program, high-ticket program. What would that do for your relationships? Right? Actually give it a quick thought and just, you know, assign a dollar figure to that. What would that be worth to you to have some more breathing room in your relationships and actually have time to work on them, right? Like we all know that we should. What about your energy level, right? So if you were to, you know, actually obtain your goals, what would it be worth to your energy level? Go ahead and give it some thought and write down a dollar number. Assign a dollar figure to that. I know for me it's priceless. Without my energy level, I'm really not worth much. And with my chronic fatigue and the hypothyroidism, and also with the high sensitivity, there's a lot to be said with that too. So we can only go for so long, and that's just kind of the way it is. So what about the future of your business? What would that be worth to you? Give it a thought, and think about it, and actually assign a dollar amount to that. You know, what would that be worth to you, the future of your business? To have, you know, the abundance and some breathing room built in. So go ahead and write it down. It doesn't have to be, like, my brain wants to completely think out everything, and that's no problem. You're welcome to go back later. But if a number just pops into your head, go ahead and write it down. And it'll be interesting to kind of go back and look at this later. So what's interesting is look back. So you've assigned a dollar amount to your health. You've assigned a dollar amount to your relationships. You've assigned a dollar amount to your energy. You've assigned a dollar amount to the future of your business. So just for the heck of it, add them all up. Figure out what's the number one, the total dollar amount that encompasses all four areas above. I'm curious. If you're comfortable, please let me know and share in the comments below what this number is. I bet it's higher than you thought it was when we first started, right? And it was for me when I did this exercise for myself. Right? So how you guys doing? With me so far? Right? Valuable? Right? I know, totally. It's one of those things that if we don't stop and think about it, what's going to change? So, anyway. So, let's talk about a solution. Right? So, let's create the perfect solution together. I'm just curious, what would that look like? So, go ahead and help me by commenting below in the comments. If we were to just create out of thin air the perfect solution for you in this situation, what would that look like? Would it include a clear overall system? Heck yeah! right? We better have a system and it better be clear, right? What about a community component, right? So, what a concept, right? Number one, business owners spend a lot of time by ourselves, especially when we're working on business planning, marketing strategy, things like that. We are often the ones doing it by ourselves or a very, very small group, very small team. Um, Unless you have advisors and consultants that work with you, often it's just something that you do by yourself, right? I know I can relate to this too, totally. So, from a community component, we also have the opportunity to learn from others. You know, they're implementing, they're action takers just like you and me, right? What's working? What's not? Like, I totally want to know, and I bet you're probably very curious on what is working for me in my business and what is not, right? So that would certainly be something that would be appealing, right? The community component around that. So, what about live monthly Q&A sessions or live weekly Q&A sessions, right? So, you know, let's say you have something that you're working on right now, a project, and you have some pressing questions. Let's get them answered, right? Maybe it's somebody else in the community that can answer that. Maybe I can help you with that. If not, I will find the answer for you because I am very good at finding the answer for you when we need to. So, but would that be valuable to have a live Q&A component if we were just developing our own solution, right? So, what about easy to follow step-by-step instructions, right? So, really, if we were to figure out how to transition our businesses online, right? So you're already successful, you're established. How the heck do you begin? Where do you begin? And not have overwhelm from information classes, but what about a revolutionary concept of like step by step, like baby steps? Like, would that be valuable? Totally, right? I am all about that. I'm not sure if you can relate to this, but I totally can. In the past, when I've taken online courses, workshops, events, I've loved them. But really, at some point, you're thinking, come on, like, I'm so happy to just pay you to cut to the chase and just walk me through. Like, let's cut out 80% of the crap out there. Give me the 20% that works. You know, if it looks simple on paper, but great, right? Because it's a shortcut. That's what I'm paying for, right? If you can give me a shortcut that cuts out 80% of the clutter and the noise that's out there in the industry, and just focus on 20% of what we have that works, that's been proven by other people and businesses, I'd happily pay you for that. Does that make sense? Can you guys relate to that too? Totally, right? Totally. Oh, I know. I just love that. So, what about a system that was designed from the get-go to ease anxiety, remove overwhelm, speed up progress, increase your confidence that you can do this, right? Especially with trying something new. If you have been following me along on the social media posts, there's what's called the steps to success, the ladder of success. There's a certain progression that Brendan Burchard and Dean Graziosi taught us last year at the Growth Summit Live, which of course was 2017. And there's a certain level of progression for that. And one of those steps that no matter who you are, that you have to take advantage of and learn is new skills. So whether that's yourself, whether that's your team, right? There are new skills that you need to acquire in order to get to the next level of success. That's just the way it is. And the great news about that is that nobody is immune. Every single person, no matter who you are, so ego is not involved, it's left out the door, does have to go through all of these steps in order to achieve the next level of success. So, anyway, I thought that was fantastic news. But that's actually part of it, is what skills do you need, right? So, let's design this in a way to increase your confidence so you can do this. So now imagine for a moment that you had an opportunity to get in on the ground floor level as a founding member of such a solution that encompassed all of these. Right? That brings me to my big announcement. I'm so giddy. I'm actually surprised I held this from you for this long. But here's my big announcement. Here it is. I've decided to launch a beta membership program. The purpose? Let's transition your successful offline business with the intention of the end goal of generating pre-qualified leads for your high-ticket program, training, workshop, mastermind, or destination retreat at a profit, changing your health, relationships, energy, and the future of your business. Right? Oh, I'm so excited. For this beta membership, I am looking for a small number, just going to be a small group of fellow coaches, consultants, trainers, speakers, authors, and experts who are interested in becoming founding members. What is a founding member? In exchange for beta pricing, I'm specifically looking for people willing to provide direct feedback, right, on the process, the content, interested in helping shaping the community, right, and the future membership site. So I'm looking for action takers that I can create case studies from, right, promote your business, promote their business, you if it's you, right, and use in my future marketing, right. That's a win-win situation right there. So it also means that you gain the benefit of locking in founding member prices, either at a monthly or an annual basis for as long as you're a member. So it's going to be about another 9 to 14 months or so before I do a full launch to the public. And when the doors are open and everything looks all pretty and polished, and as a result, my founding members, their price will be locked in, but for everybody else, the price will be increased. In full transparency, this launch is just a beta. So not everything is pretty and polished yet. Would you like to see proof of how this works? Maybe see the system behind it? What exactly the path to this outcome looks like? Right? Awesome. So, because we are on live and I don't have a nice whiteboard, I'm going to attempt to show you what I have on paper. If you are interested, I will totally make this available. I actually have a prettier looking graphic that actually shows the 6 stages. So this is what's called the 6 stages. Right, membership to your success. So this is called a member success path, right? So it is called Your Journey from Anxiety to Celebration. The most efficient way to transition your successful offline coaching, consulting, or training business online. Step number 1, if you can see, is build your foundation. Build your foundation is stage number 1. So in stage number 1, see if this sounds familiar. You love your clients. You have tons of testimonials, overflowing, right? Sounds familiar. Solid programs, trainings, masterminds, but anxiety on how to transition online, right? Like you may have even done research behind this to say, okay, how do I do this? I'm sure I'm smart enough, right? I can figure this out on my own. And it just leads to overwhelm and you get stuck, right? Totally understand. So as far as what you're going to get out of stage number 1, which is the foundation, your why may be wrong. I will challenge you on that. I'm not going to go into that story, but that is a big one with me. You'll create diamond clarity around hot buttons to authentically connect, right? Totally. That is just the overview of stage number 1, build your audience. I'm sorry, build your foundation. Build your audience is stage number 2. So it is actually right here. You can see I have build your audience. Can you see that okay? Is stage number 2. So build your audience, you have a website, you're on social media, but not necessarily a rhyme or reason to your content, right? So what you'll get out of stage number 2, build your audience, is you'll select a main platform. You will survey your audience and see results from your strategic building plan. These are just overviews to kind of give you a sneak peek on what the deep dive will look like for each of these stages to implement, right? Okay, stage number 3. Build. There we go. All right, can you see it here? Here we go. Build your evergreen funnel. Yep, build your evergreen funnel is stage number 3. And I'm sorry, yes, build your evergreen traffic funnel. Read sideways, right? It's always interesting. So you are deliberately and consistently building the right audience, right? Time to drive traffic. So in this stage, you will map out your strategy, you'll create content, you'll test audiences, and you'll see measured results, right? So stage number 4, right, is build, right here, can you see it? Build your break-even funnel. Catch that? That is awesome. Build your break-even funnel. Super amazing concept right there. So now you're cooking once you've arrived at this particular stage. You have successfully and consistently driving traffic and capturing leads, both. So you're going to map out your strategy during this stage. You're going to create the content from what you already have, which is amazing, and have your ad spend break even from smaller sales, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stage number 5 is what we're coming to, right? So stage number 5 is build your high-ticket lead generation funnel, right? So where you're at when you get to stage 5 is you're at full throttle right now, baby, right? You have successful break-even funnel. It is time to generate leads for your high ticket, right? So during this stage, you will map out your strategy, create the content, build the funnel, and successfully generate pre-qualified leads for profit. For profit, right? Stage number 6 in this stage system is celebrate and next level planning. So you will totally celebrate. When you get to this stage, it is definitely something to be celebrated. It's amazing. Your life will change, your energy will change, your business will change, and you will finally, this is just amazing. This is really a life-changing process for you, right? And so then you'll be able to plan for the next level and what that means, right? So what do you guys think? 6 stages, right? Stage number 1, build your foundation. Stage number 2, build your audience. Stage number 3, build your evergreen traffic funnel. Stage number 4, build your break-even funnel. Stage number 5, build your high-ticket lead generation funnel. And stage number 6, celebrate and next-level planning, right? This is a fantastic system that I've been super excited to create and finally let you in on the secret here and what's been going on behind the scenes that I've been working on for quite a long time anyway. Quite a long time, which is fantastic. So something that I've mentioned before, I'm not sure if anybody is interested in this. If this is too much information now, maybe I think for right now it is. But if you are interested, you can go ahead and let me know if you are interested in a milestone checklist. So the milestone checklist, right, that I have in PDF format for you, this is just for my reference right here, actually it kind of breaks down each one of the stages a little bit further, right? So I've actually done a ton of planning for this, a ton. Like the whole system is basically in place. from what I will be teaching standpoint. And so for the Build Your Foundation stage, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 milestones. Within each of those milestones, you know, we break down with lessons and action items within those. So just want to let you know. I don't want to overwhelm you with too much information here, but there is a ton. If you do want the milestone checklist, go ahead and just let me know, or else send me a message. I'd be happy to make sure that I hand that to you and get that to you right away. So what do you guys think? Right? This is amazing. This is totally amazing and totally game-changing. What questions can I answer for you? If you have any questions, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. So whether it's live or in the replay, I will be going back to check on it and make sure that questions are answered. Also, go ahead and just to let you know, I will let you know because there's going to be some live Q&As coming up. So if you haven't signed up on my email list yet, go ahead and sign up because that's how I'm letting everybody know about the live Q&As. So all the questions about the membership, the beta membership program that I have, will be covered in both on that and also the live Q&As, which is fantastic, right? So that's it for now. If you are interested, I'm going to go ahead and include, let me just go ahead and let you know, just so it's easier on here, that there is, if you want more information about this beta membership program, it is not going to be forever, right? That I'm going to keep this on here. Hey, Marjorie, nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. I missed you coming on before, which is pretty fun. So I'm going to go ahead and put in this link. So if you are interested in finding out more information, more details about the beta membership, you can go to transition2online.com. That is transition2online.com. So go ahead, check it out. Let me know if you have any questions. I am just crazy excited about this particular program. And I do actually have, I'm not going to mention it right now, but there is an early bird special bonus that does expire. You're going to want to go ahead and check it out and see if that's something that resonates with you, that checks out with you. So if there's no other questions, I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye. And go ahead and, if you're interested in some more information, go ahead and check it out. If this resonates with you, like if you kind of feel like, yeah, I need to find out some more information about this, you totally know that it's you. As far as authentic marketing is concerned, there's not much of a sales pitch, right? There's no icky sales pitch. You know if it's right for you. You know if this is your time to step it up. You know if you're no longer willing to settle, right, for the same path that you're on right now. So, as Andrea called it, you know, entrepreneur PTSD, right? If you're done, if you're absolutely done with that, and you are just craving something something different, you need to make a change, then I would absolutely invite you to join me on this journey and to say yes to yourself and to your impact. To go ahead and become a founding member of my beta membership program called Transition to Online. So, with that being said, just remember that I believe in you. We got this, and let's rock our impact. Love you. Talk to you later. Bye.